Should loaded question have been an exotic? Yes. Yes, it should have been. So we have two, well, more than two, but we do have several but we do not have an ARC fusion rifle that is exotic. Now, fusion rifles are not in the meta, but I don't really play the meta unless it's a raid or something specific. Otherwise, just trying to enjoy the game for what it is. Now, like, shotguns, yeah, that's not very interesting. Because, we have shotguns in the real world. SMGs, rifles, all similar things. But fusion rifles, as far as science fiction, fantasy is concerned, are pretty interesting. So, we'll look at the Void fusion rifle. Telesto. It's been around a while. I still use it. Look at that, we just got a fusion rifle. Solar, but that's fine. So, yeah, ARC just isn't covered. If we go to solar, sort of the classic archetype for fusion rifles is the Merciless. Just get some ammo here. There we go. Charges up based on non-lethal kills. Interesting for larger enemies. Now let's look at loaded question. There it is. 56,000 kills. This thing is probably the best weapon for minor and major enemies. So we need to get our reserves all the way up first. Okay, we've got 7, so it is auto-loading. Reservoir burst enabled. So let's try and get some enemies here. Some ads stacked up. Let's see, the position is over here. So it's gonna be right here. I don't know why they're going over there. They always start in the same spot. Okay. So let's get a bunch of little ones stacked up here. We may have to go somewhere else. There's a lot of people here. You know what? We'll go to the raid entry. That's a good spot. So yeah, like I was saying, there was no exotic ARC fusion rifle that I'm aware of. Several legendary, of course. The only reason that's interesting for me is with the sunsetting of weapons, I like the kill tracker to maintain through seasons in exotics. Some of them, most of them, do have that ability. That in Loaded Question was just really, really well. And I think that's a problem Bungie realized, is that pretty much the best weapons are already made. They're running out of ideas, so I think the sunsetting gives them a chance to basically reuse weapon designs. Because at this point in time, we're 4 years in, finding a good weapon that's balanced. Okay, we just missed, so let's get them getting a little closer. We're gonna have to get a little more ammo here. should get fusion rifle finder on. That's okay, we have some here. Reservoir burst enabled. They've got to be pretty close. There we go. Yeah, they're not quite close enough. There it is. There, it's pretty close. Yeah, we heard it again. Okay. So we'll go back to salvagers. So with this, there's been some discussion that this is the loaded question replacement. I'm not buying it. It's a grenade launcher. It's a lot easier to miss. They're basically taking the reservoir burst from loaded question that was sunsetted and putting it on here, which is the larger problem that Bungie is running out of ideas for new weapons that are both interesting and relevant. So they're, again, sunsetting weapons and their perks and reapplying them to different weapons. Loaded questions for me is still so much better because of basically the forgiveness in targeting. Grenades are so easy to miss unless you're very good, like a mouse and keyboard, but spray and pray definitely applies. You know, they should add an item that you can collect to basically take one weapon and allow it to be leveled up indefinitely. Now that would be a lot of interesting ideas for people to choose one of the legendary or sunsetted weapons to bring with them. But that would then open up the idea of wanting to remove those and not being able to because some people continue to have them. Loaded questions should have been exotic.